world football, in my opinion, it stinks, innit? Like Edin Dzeko was a very good striker in the Premier League that didn't get his flowers, and he was one of those strikers in the Premier League. Like someone like Edin Dzeko, like I take him literally every single day of the week because you know what you're going to get with him. Technically good, that good enough athlete, strong, intelligent, can finish with both feet. Like he's a throwback centre forward. There's not many of them in the game, and the fact that he's still scoring goals now, yeah, I don't know what age he must be right now. But Edin Dzeko never got the respect he deserved when he was in England, probably because he was playing at Man City, and Man City's players in general probably get underrated because they're not a massive club. Do you know what I mean? They're just not.
I agree. A very good centre forward. I think sometimes we can look at numbers way too much. But he was a very good centre forward. But like I've just brought up the Serie A top goal scorers, and so Osman's at the top at 117, and then the next two, you've got Lookman on 12, right? Who's not a striker. Kvaratskhelia of Napoli, he's not a striker. Dybala of Roma, he's not a striker. Leao, he's a wide guy. There's no forwards. Like what's happened to forwards?
No, but the game's evolved. The game has evolved. Like the wide men are now the goal scorers, and the forwards now are just the guys that really are the guys that kind of press, and like they're almost the new playmakers, in it, the new number 10s. They're the guys that facilitate now the wide players to score because we don't have 10s anymore. Do you know what I mean? So because we don't have 10s in midfield, it's almost now you've got a 10 up front in it, and they just facilitate the wide players to score goals. The problem is, when you don't have wide players that score goals, you get people that don't know football criticizing players like what Weghorst is doing at Man United and stuff like that. Like he's not in the team to score goals. Like wide players need to score the goals. Like that's not his job in the team. And if you look at a lot of Ten Hag teams as well, like he likes to play with a pivot up front, and these guys are to facilitate the players on the outside who are supposed to be scoring the goals. You know what I mean? The problem is we're getting goals from Rashford's side, but we're not getting goals from any of the other side. Do you know what I mean? And this is where the problem lies. Like at Liverpool, nobody cared that Bobby Firmino wasn't scoring 30 goals a season because Salah and Mane was scoring 50 between them.
Correct. Yeah.
And this is the problem.
I think it'll come back round. It's like, football's like fashion.
I think so. Man. I don't think it will come back round.
I think things go in cycles. There used to be the two up front, and everyone wanted to play the 4-2-3-1. Now everyone wants to play with three up front in some capacity. I think it will change. It will evolve. It will be what it will be. But you're right. It's players like I always butcher his name, like Kvaratskhelia of Napoli. That's where it's going. That's where football's going now. And they're going to be the players, I think, Rants, that are going to be the 120 million pounds.
Yeah, it's the wide men. It's the wide men.
It's the wide men. It's not going to be centre forwards. Like, if I said to you now, young centre forwards, like, you remember the days like of a set you'd have like Owen, Robbie Fowler, all these people bursting onto the scene at a young age, and you're like, wow, you don't see anyone now. Unless who can you think of in the Premier League? Young strikers breaking through, they score goals.
Bro, it was only Mason, and do you know what I mean? We know what happened there, but you know what it is, yeah? Like, bro, I don't believe it comes back again. The reason why I don't believe it comes back again is because I feel like the game, has strayed so far away from what it was. I don't believe it comes back. Do you know what I mean? I just believe that the way society's evolved, the way that sport in general has evolved, where it's not really, especially football. Football is probably the worst for it. Like it's definitely way more. It's a way more of a system game, way more of an athlete's game, and less technical than it's ever been. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So when you look at defenders now, we're not picking defenders based on how well they can defend. We're picking defenders on how quick they are, how tall they are, like all these other things, how well they play out from the back instead of how well they actually defend. Do you know what I'm saying? So
you're right. You're absolutely right. I mean, it's strange. Like Whenever I used to watch Burnley play, like remember when Sean Dyche was at Burnley, and you had the old two wingers, two big men up front. you go, that used to be the norm, didn't it? That was the norm. But look, even if it doesn't evolve back to that, it will evolve into some sort of shape. Somebody will come in and try and revolutionise the way the game is played. But
I don't think so. I don't think so. You know why I don't think so? Is because you look at the game now, everyone's obsessed with running stats.
Yeah, true.
Like goal stats, XG, chances created, big chances created, all these bullshit stats that actually mean nothing, bro. Like, and you know what it is, yeah? The reason why I hate stats specifically in football, yeah, like I watch basketball. The difference between football and basketball is literally there's only 5 people on the court in basketball. Like, so there's a lot less variables. In football, yeah, there's literally 11 players on the team, yeah, like on the pitch per team. So there's 22 players on there instead of 10. So straight away, the likelihood of certain things happening, yeah, it massively decreases. Massively decreases. In basketball, you can literally say in a basketball game, all right, cool. Like LeBron's gonna get 30 tonight, or he'll average 30 or whatever. You can make that because the basketball court's not very big. There's less people to pass to, there's less likely things can happen. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, this is one of the in football, mate. There's people literally playing football matches, yeah, nicking a living, mate. Do you know what I mean? Getting carried by the other 10 players, like, and you see it all the time. Like, someone just put in the chat about the comparison between Bruno Fernandes and an Iniesta. Like, in Bruno Fernandes's whole career, he will never have the impact on a game of football that Iniesta has had. Like, not ever. Like, Iniesta's worst game, yeah, on this planet, he will have more impact on the outcome of the game than Bruno Fernandes in terms of what he contributes to the team. However, it's about, at the end of the game, did I get a goal or an assist? It's not about how many times did I turn the ball over and facilitate the attacks for the other team. It's not about that. And that's why right now, Sava, like, that's why I like shows like this. And the reason why I make long form content and my shows are an hour and a half is because I actually like to talk about the game of football, not just talk about football players. Do you know what I mean?
No,
a lot
I agree.
Want to talk about the players that they like, get some little clickbait titles and get views. And this superficial way, yeah, of looking at the game, yeah, has literally seeped into, I wouldn't even say seeped into it. Like, I'd say online football content in general is very superficial, yeah, and it's bullshit, bro. There's no depth in any of the conversations.
Right, Rants, I think, you know, we've worked together long enough now. You know my feeling on this. Look, stats for me, I want to know stats of a striker. If we're signing a striker, is he the goal scorer I need? How many goals he got? I don't need to know how many presses did he make, how much of this, how much of that. And the example I always give you is, it's when Spurs fans now that may be a bit younger than I am want to tell me that Heung-Min Son is a better footballer than David Ginola because he scored more. I just go, I just can't. I don't know how to.
He's a good, at least. He's at least 2 tiers below David Ginola. At least,
for sure.
You know what I mean? At least, bro.
He was not a patch as a footballer on David Ginola. But you know, listen, I don't want to like come on and dig Heung-Min Son out. But the problem is now, I go onto channels sometimes and people start bringing up all these stats for me. Like, what do you think about this? And look at his pressures. And I always have to say, look, I don't mean to be rude, but this is not. That's not how I judge a player.